Hey guys, Happy Home Gamer here again. Welcome back to more Star Trek Online. Last time on Star Trek Online, we completed the first part of the tutorial. However, not without loss. Captain Taggart was kidnapped by Captain Kadek and killed in the line of action. In this episode, we'll be continuing the second half of the tutorial, which includes a new type of gameplay. Flores is behind us over there. We need to talk to her. Oop, just stuck in a wall. Yeah, that happens in video games, you know.
We survived, but the Captain Taggart knew what would happen, and he gave the order anyway. Ultimate sacrifice. One that we all might be called to make someday. He trusted you to take command. All we can do now is survive. And remember him.
Take your seat in the captain's chair. Alright. So, now you see up there on that little little text, we completed the first part, now we're moving on to the second part. Take command. Alright, so we have a new type of gameplay here, and we got a bridge officer. First bridge officer, actually, Elisa Flores. This is this is just the space combat kind of area. We're in space now, if that wasn't obvious enough. In space, things are much different in terms of gameplay than compared on ground or when on foot. And there's a lot to go over here, so I'll try to do it as fast as I can, but it's going to take a while anyway. So we have all this stuff down here, and what is it? Well, I'll go over that. First off, most important is this. This is your hit points, or hull integrity, or hull, whatever you want to call it. It's all those will be correct. This is what you want to keep an eye on frequently, or even at all times, because when your hull integrity reaches 0, you're dead. You blow up. You're gone with the wind. Around it is your shield facing. You have one in each compass direction. Clicking on either shield facing will send power to that particular side. Clicking in the middle of it will spin balance, and if your shields have taken damage already on all 4 sides, it will evenly distribute all the damage, all the power throughout them. The side over here we have subsystem power. This is extremely important. It's very extremely important to manage your power subsystems appropriately, because that can mean the life or death when it comes to power. You have weapons, shields, engines, and auxiliary. Weapons obviously influences the amount of damage that your energy weapons will do. This does not, however, influence the damage that torpedoes do. Torpedoes are kinetic damage. And as a result of that, the only way you're going to influence them is through abilities. And we have one of those abilities now, and I'll go over them in a minute. Shield power. It's generally the more power your shields are getting, the faster they will regenerate. If they're at 25 power, which is the bare minimum they can stay at, they will either not regenerate at all or regenerate very little. If they're at maximum power, they will regenerate 3 times faster than that. Engines will divert more power to your engines, obviously, and that will allow your ship to move faster. When you're in full impulse, which we'll go over full impulse in a minute, all power is automatically diverted to the engines. Auxiliary power is more or less the most important one of all. The more auxiliary power you have, the more powerful your science abilities will be, because science abilities rely on auxiliary power to work. The more auxiliary power you have, the better they'll do. You have these 4 buttons up here. This is just divert power to weapons, shields, engines, or just balance them out. This button here will just change the thing here. And I personally like this design better. It looks a little bit better. But for my purposes in videos, I'll just go for attack for right now. Over here, we have your attacks, or abilities, or captain abilities, excuse me. You have all your captain's abilities here, and this is where your weapons are. These 3 buttons here are for firing weapons. This is fire all beams, fire all torpedoes, and fire all weapons. Personally, my play style is just spam this, as it works all the time. But the reason why you want to keep spamming it is if I will move up here, if I hover over this phaser ray, you'll see that there's a firing arc. This is a 250-degree targeting arc. When an enemy comes in field of this at any distance, the weapon will fire automatically if you fire all weapons, as long as you keep spamming the button. Torpedoes, however, don't have as much as a targeting arc. This is 90 degrees. It's not as much, but phaser beam arrays have a 250-degree targeting arc, and if you want a 360-degree targeting arc, you will go with turrets. We'll get into the intricacies of weapons types and everything about that later. And the last thing we should be going over is this. Well, last two things. Bridge officer abilities. In this game, as I've said, there's a lot of customization, and this is another thing. You can teach bridge officers abilities that you know, or you can go to a trainer at excuse me, I don't know, my nose itched. Or you can go to a trainer at a bases like Earth Space Dock. But for right now, we have a list of Force who knows one ability, which is Torpedo High Yield 1. This upgrades the damage that torpedoes do, and because it's a high yield torpedo, it fires 2 torpedoes at once instead of just the normal one. But both torpedoes will be high yield and do more damage than a normal torpedo will. So yes. Now I've been sitting here for a while, so I can go over this. After I talk to the first officer,
All
of
decks
course.
reporting in, sir. We took some casualties, and sickbay is full. All ship systems have taken some damage, but some are worse than others. Life support is stable, but anything else could be an issue.
Travell, send out a distress call.
I have been trying to get a distress call out, Captain, but something is jamming all frequencies.
You trying it, Lisa? What's the status of the Klingon ship?
She's still cloaked, but I think she took some real damage. We're in rough shape too, Captain.
Zarva, damage report.
Still running diagnostics, sir. Took us some time to get the systems back online.
What about the break-even? Hail them, Travell.
Oh, hello, Starfleet. No hard feelings, right? I had to send that distress signal. If I didn't, that crazy Klingon was going to blow my ship into space junk. And, because Starfleet's always ready to help and all, could you help me repair my ship? I'm grateful for all you've done to save my ship and cargo already. But the sooner I can get out of here, the sooner I'll be safe from Kadek.
I'll see what we can do. Alright, so movement. You press the E and Q keys. E will increase your speed, Q will decrease it. Generally, if you're in battle, full speed without full impulse. Excuse me. I'll back up. Full speed without impulse is good enough. Your wide targeting arcs will make it harder to hit your target, but it also makes it harder for them to hit you because you're also moving faster with a wider turning arc. We'll go over to the stats of turning arcs later because that is a completely different topic from what we're doing right now. Anyway, I just like to use the slider for now, but we need to move forward and get this ship. Anyway, in terms of controls, my personal control style is right-hand WASD and left-hand right-hand mouse, excuse me, and left-hand on WASD. That's my
No,
personal.
full stop. I've stopped us this time, sir, but from now on, you'll be responsible for adjusting the speed of the ship.
Right, scan freighter. So yeah, that's my control style. It's good enough for me.
Looks like she just needs 3 or 4 warp induction coils. We have plenty of those to spare.
I should shut up now and just talk about more about what I'm doing right now instead of my personal play style.
Thanks. We'd help you if we could, but I just don't see any profit in that, you know?
Well, looks like we're on our own. At least they said thank you, I guess. About that cloaked ship full of Klingons?
Zarva, do you have a damage report?
Almost done, Captain. Level 2 diagnostics shows that almost all of the plasma injectors are damaged beyond repair. Not enough. Plasma injectors are made to withstand quite a beating, but I think the Klingons specifically sabotaged them when they boarded us. It's an easy way to cripple a ship. I'm installing what spares we have, but we're short 3 injectors. Without them, we can't go to warp.
Ideas, Lisa?
We're not the first ship the Klingons have hit here. There's wreckage all over this region. I can scan the derelicts and see if any of them have intact plasma injectors.
Scan for parts. Okay, this is another mechanic in the game that was useful more early in.
Bingo! I found some suitable debris in the boneyard nearby. Destroy 3 of those nacelles, and we should get the parts we need.
Right, scanning. Scanning was really useful back in the heydays of the game when crafting was based on gathering objects throughout your missions and other parts of the space of the universe. This button right here, which is not hasn't been removed yet, is scan area. It will scan an area, and if it finds an anomaly, which it will at one point, it will if it finds an anomaly, excuse me, and well, if it finds an anomaly, your deflector dish will point towards it with a bit of a beam of light. It will point directly at it, not its general direction, unlike these things right here, which will only tell you its general location in that arrow. See, it's not exactly pointing directly at it; it just tells you general direction. But deflector dish, when it's scanning, it will. God, I can't talk today. It will point it in general direction. Another way to scan is if you open your map and just click scan area. It will do this, but it won't tell you where it is. It just tells you, hey, ship's picking up 0 and some unusual objects in the system. You gotta find it, right? Good luck! It will do that, but personally I just find using this button better. Anyway, we need to get moving here and destroy that debris. Even though destroying the debris will probably destroy the plasma injectors in the process. Anyway, so targeting. You can either click on an enemy or press a tab key to select an enemy at random and then cycle through them by pressing the tab key over and over again. Using the tab key is very useful for sifting through enemies you want to target first or last. And I don't use it very often, but it's useful in many cases. So anyway, firing weapons. You can either click the abilities here, or you can press these buttons as I've said before. I just personally like firing all weapons.
Left behind.
Yeah, that guy's getting annoying.
Right, yeah. You can just press these buttons or these buttons. It doesn't really matter. I don't like keeping my abilities, ship abilities, or ship weapon abilities here because I've already got them here. It's just not useful. I don't know why they did that, but they did.
These plasma injectors will do the trick, sir. Gorgeous technology. Type R, if I had to guess. 3.7-liter flow put with shielded reservoirs and a drop flow induction coil.
That's good, but remember the Klingon who wants us dead? I need you to work fast.
You have your problems, I have mine. I'll need some time to get everything installed and run a level 1 diagnostic. We don't want to blow up the moment we hit warp 1.
Listen, Flores, give me a status report.
Zarva's dealing with the warp core, but until she's done, we're still stranded out here with no way to call for help. Oh, don't forget the cloaked Klingon battlecruiser. It's probably making repairs faster than we are.
Any chance we can determine what's jamming communications in the system?
Of course we can. We're the class of 2409. Tevrel's been working with the engineers, and they've pinpointed the locations of several Klingon signal jammers. That's what blocked our communications during the ambush. I recommend that we destroy the jamming satellites. We'll be able to get a call out to Starfleet then.
Sounds good. Alright, satellites ahead. Can we use full impulse? No, we cannot. No, we cannot. Wow, this is going to take forever. Why can't we have full impulse for this? Anyway. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now we can fire.
Shields under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Nice shot. 2 more jamming satellites left.
I got nothing to say here. Just shooting satellites. I mean, the battles will get much more exciting as we get later in the game, but for right now with the tutorial, it's not very exciting. But trust me, things get more exciting and more fun as time goes on.
I haven't forgotten about you. Think your ship can take a couple.
This warship, the IKS Kadek, is a Negvar warship. I'll be getting into what a Negvar warship is in a
Long-range
minute.
communications are operational, sir. Shall I send the distress signal?
Yes, but I'll get into the Negvar in a minute when we actually fight him for real, because that was just kind of a bit of a fluke there.
That Klingon ship took some real damage. I'll bet she's leaking plasma all over the place. We might be able to use that to find them.
Do it. We need to find him before he ambushes again.
Understood. I'd rather not die to Klingons on my first day. Got it. I can trace the plasma signature right to the source.
Finally, we have an advantage.
I'll send the source of the plasma signature to navigation. It will show up on the map. It's pretty far out, sir. We should use the ship's full impulse power to reach it. This will temporarily take power from other systems, but vastly improve our speed. Once we drop out of full impulse, the power will return to other systems.
I can make your death swift.
No thanks, buddy. So, full impulse. As you said, full impulse will drain power from all your other systems, and divert it to engines, which will increase your speed significantly. It's a very easy way to get around sector space, or not sector space.
Hover your mouse over a weapon, and its firing arc will be shown around.
Alright. Okay, Bird of Prey. Okay, these are the frigates for the Klingon Empire. They have very weak disruptor turrets, and very... Oh, okay, no, I'm a little close there. A little closer. You can blow up on me? Okay, that wasn't that bad. Okay, I'll get into that bioforward there in a minute. They have weak disruptor turrets and weak photon torpedoes. They're pretty much like us, just with disruptors turrets instead of phaser beam arrays.
Think you can catch me? Go ahead and try.
Anyway, now that we have a taste of a proper battle with a proper ship, I should mention when a ship reaches zero hull integrity, and its warp core will go critical. When that warp core breach explodes, and you're too close to it, like less than 1 kilometer too close to it, you will take damage. If you have shields, you won't take all that much, but if you...
Click on a shield that is low on power to direct power to it.
Right, so... If you have shields, you won't take much damage, but if that ship blows up, on a shield facing that's gone, it's dead, you will take huge damage, and you should try to get away from it as fast as possible if that happens. Anyway, these are shielded Bird of Prey. I will go over that new ability right here, or use the new ability in a minute. Hopefully. Alright.
Incoming transmission, sir. It is from Starfleet.
On screen, Travell.
This is Captain Volok of the USS Renown. Do you require assistance?
Yes, sir. We're ambushed by Klingon marauders.
A Klingon captain would have to be very bold to travel this far into Federation territory. Where is Captain Taggart?
He was captured and taken by the Klingon ship. They killed him before he ordered us to fire on his position.
And did you follow his orders?
Yes, sir.
So, I take it you are in command now.
Yes, sir, I am.
Very well. We will escort your ship to Earth's space dock.
How about the Klingon who killed Captain Taggart, sir? Kadek is still out there.
And if he reveals his position, he will be dealt with accordingly. Until then, you are to set a course for our position. Renown out.
Yes, sir. Alright, so, sorry I was quiet there for a little bit. I don't want to talk too much. There's the Renown, and coming soon is the Kadek. Kadek, the Chot. Right, so, okay, no, don't go to full impulse again, no, stop, there we go. Right, so now torpedo high yield, so when we use this, as I said, it will increase the damage of your torpedo yield, and fire 2 torpedoes at once. So let's just destroy the IKH shot here. Now, I should mention, the optimal time to use torpedo high yield, or a torpedo period, is when you're firing at a shield facing that's not existent, or a shield facing that is down. Because shields will soak up the damage from a torpedo, but we're very weak to energy damage. Whereas the hull of the ship is very resistant to energy damage, but very weak to kinetic damage. And I am too close to shipping, aren't I? Oh, it didn't blow up, okay. Just disappeared.
The Renown will escort you back to Earth's space dock, but first we must inform the USS Kittimer that... One moment. My communications officer informs me that we are unable to contact the Kittimer. We will proceed to their coordinates to determine if they require assistance, and your ship will accompany us. I hereby grant you a field promotion. This will give you the proper authority over your crew and final decision-making ability for your ship until we reach Earth's space dock and report to Admiral Quinn.
Alright, so we completed a mission, and when you complete a mission, you will get several things. You will get experience points, expertise, and either a choice or a set of items. In this case, we don't have the choice, so we get all of these items. We don't have to choose them. We get them all of them, and in this case, we get a bridge officer, which is Zarva. Experience points is what you need to level up. This is your experience bar right here, and your rank is over here. When you're leveling up, you level up in grades. So if I click here, we are a cadet. We're not even level 1. In fact, actually, we're just a cadet. When you reach level 1, you become a Starfleet Lieutenant. You will be able to get a new ship and unlock transwarp. Here you can all see the rewards you'll get at every level, up to 60. We won't be into 60 for a very, very, very long time. So, but for now, we're about to level up to Starfleet Lieutenant. So, it's a good thing I talked about it, right? Right. Anyway. Expertise goes into something that will be important a little bit later. And all these I'll go over at some point.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
Alright, so now we are a lieutenant. We are now level 2, but we are now level 2. Now, keep in mind, see these yellow bars? Yeah. Those are grades. Essentially, to advance to the next rank, you need 10 of those grades, and you will get 1 grade per level up. So you need to achieve 8 more grades in the current rank and gain 21,500 more experience points. Well, easier. That's easy for the beginning game, but later on, they make you do missions over and over and over and over and over again until you level up to the proper level. That's kind of the typical thing about MMOs, but it's the truth. But for right now, we will be leveling up rather quickly, and we don't have to worry about that for a very long time, thankfully, for my sanity, and I'm still moving. Sorry, Renown, I kind of left on you there. That's kind of funny. I was blabbering on there, and I was like, oh crap, I'm moving! Alright, so, welcome to Sector Space. Sector Space is a part of the maps, or a map that you'll spend a lot of time in, especially early game, where you can't move very fast. Sector Space, if I can pull up the map, looks like this, generally, for the Alpha Quadrant. You'll see all the systems you can go to, and if you go to the Galaxy map, we can see all the pretty much the Galaxy map for the Alpha, Beta, and Delta quadrants. We won't be getting into the Delta quadrant or even the Gamma quadrant Alpha quadrant for a very long time. So, yeah, I mean, but this look at what we can explore here. We will be going all over the place here throughout our time here in Starfleet, throughout this Let's Play. We will go through all places, and yeah, it's just brilliant how big this game is, and Sector Space is massive. It's not exactly to scale, but it is big, and in a recent update, prior to a recent update, Sector Space was broken into several maps. Now it's combined into 3 large maps, and frankly, that is great, because there was so much loading early on. Like when the game was launched, there was so much loading when it comes to switching maps in Sector Space. Anyway, we also have a system list here. If you can't find a system, or you know the system name and you don't know where it is, you can search the system list, and if you were to click on it, crap, I didn't want to move again. If you double click on it, you will auto navigate to that system. We're already at the system we need to be at, so we don't need to do anything about navigating right now. So yes, we will be. Also, I should mention that later on we'll be getting a couple abilities and also some items or equipment that will increase our speed in Sector Space. But for right now, we'll be moving rather slow. But now let's begin. But actually, not because I need to end this off here. We did a lot today. We completed the second half of the tutorial. We need to move on. We completed the first half tutorial. We need to move on, but the video is long enough now. So next time, or join me next time on Star Trek Online, where we can start Communication Breakdown, the second mission in the game outside of the tutorial. See you guys later.